She fired the janitor for shining a light at her blind daughter until he saw what no one else could. Elena Ramirez had spent years building her life around silence. Silence kept her daughter safe. Silence shielded her from questions. Silence made the world just a little less cruel. Every morning, Elena held her 9-year-old daughter Ava's hand and guided her into St. Mary's Elementary. Ava, born blind, had learned to count her steps, listen for the echoes in the hallways, and memorize the sound of each classmate's laughter. For Elena, every day was a battle against pitying stares and whispered judgments. She had learned to be fierce, to be protective, yet sometimes too protective. One afternoon, as Elena came to pick up Ava, she froze at the doorway of the empty gym. There, under the dim overhead light, the school janitor, an older man with worn hands and kind eyes, was standing with a flashlight. He held it in front of Ava, flicking it on and off. Elena's blood boiled. Her daughter was blind. Couldn't he see that? Stop! She shouted, rushing forward. How dare you mock her? The janitor looked startled. Ava tilted her head, confused by her mother's tone. Elena, he said softly, I wasn't mocking her. But Elena was already shaking, her voice sharp with years of unspoken pain. You're fired. Don't you ever come near my daughter again. The school principal backed her decision, and by the next morning, the janitor was gone. For days, Elena carried the bitterness with her like a stone in her chest. But of a broken bar, Ava was different. She asked about the janitor every night. Why isn't Mr. Thomas here anymore? She whispered as Elena tucked her in. He made me feel a broken bar, like I could see something. The words rattled Elena. Ava never talked like that. Finally, unable to sleep, Elena called the janitor's home. He answered with the same quiet warmth she remembered, even after what she had done. I think I owe you an explanation, he said gently. They met at a small cafe till the copyright the next morning. He carried the same flashlight with him, worn but steady in his hand. When I was a boy, Thomas began, my sister was blind. Doctors said she'd never see, but sometimes, when I waved the light, she'd responded just a flicker. We learned she wasn't completely blind, only a broken bar hidden in the shadows. The right light made all the difference. Elena's breath caught. Are you saying a question mark? I saw Ava's eyes move when the light flickered, just slightly, but it was there. I thought a broken bar, maybe no one had noticed. Elena's world shifted beneath her feet. For years she had accepted her daughter's darkness as unchangeable, had shielded her from false hope. But what if broken bar? What if she had been shielding her from possibility too? Weeks later, with Thomas's encouragement, Elena took Ava to a specialist. Tests were run, machines hummed, and in a confirmation, Ava had a rare condition. Not total blindness, her eyes could respond to light. With therapy, with patience, maybe broken bar, just maybe broken bar, she could learn to see shapes, colors, shadows. Elena wept in the sterile white room, clutching her daughter's hand. Ava only smiled, whispering, I told you he made me see something. Months passed. Thomas was reinstated at the school, and not as a janitor, but as a classroom assistant for Ava. Every afternoon, he sat with her, holding that flashlight steady as she reached for the world she had never known. Slowly, she began to recognize light through a window, the outline of her mother's face, the glow of a candle in the dark. One evening, Elena stood at the kitchen table, watching her daughter trace the shape of her hand against the lamp's light. Tears filled her eyes, and not of grief this time, but of gratitude. She thought of how easily she had judged, how close she had come to shutting out the very person who had given her daughter a chance at sight. In the end, Elena realized the truth. Sometimes the people we dismiss, the ones we overlook, are the very ones holding the light we need most. And sometimes, as a broken bar, a janitor sees what no one else can.